guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about academic resonance, the lasting impact of an idea when it is first encountered. Most people think learning happens often when information enters the brain, but surprisingly, learning is often less about input and more what happens afterwards. Think about it. So you've probably sat through papers in hundreds of classes, read hundreds of pages, solved hundreds of problems, yet only a small number of those ideas actually retain with you years later. Why? So because the information and resonance aren't the same thing. Information can be encountered, but resonance is retained. The question is, what causes an idea to resonate? So after looking into science and cognitive psychology, there seems to be three major factors. The first is relevance. So the brain is constantly deciding what is actually worth retaining or remembering. So an idea feels disconnected with your life, your goals, or your interests, it's more likely to fade. But when knowledge feels useful, meaningful, or personally significant, retention improves dramatically. This is why students often remember concepts related to their hobbies more easily than concepts they never expect to use. So it is a phenomenon that is kind of difficult to maneuver, but with the right strategies like interconnection, where you synthesize what can be used from that topic, it doesn't have to be everything that can make your understanding much greater. The second factor is connection. So ideas rarely become memorable in isolation. Instead, they become attached to the existing knowledge itself. The more connections an idea has, the harder it is to become to forget. For example, memorizing a single historical date is difficult, but understanding how the influence is happening, so how the event influenced politics, culture, and future events, it creates this entire network of connections. So instead of remembering one fact, you remember a system. So that can also help with what I stated before, how things can fade due to its relevance, but that is the ultimate factor that can fix it. So this may be the most overlooked fact about learning, but many students spend hours consuming information and almost no time thinking about it. So reflection is where resonance happens. When you ask questions, make comparisons, explain concepts to others, or connect ideas across subjects, knowledge becomes more deeply integrated into the memory. So how can we increase this academic resonance? So when you learn something new, stop asking about the fact itself. Ask why it matters. So why was it discovered? Why does it work? Why should anyone care? So questions create connections. That's just how I was talking about how when you create connections in your topic and ultimately see how some parts of something can be used, that can automatically make you a lot better at the topic. So another way is to teach what you learn. One of the fastest ways to discover whether you understand something is to explain it. So if you can teach an idea clearly, your understanding becomes stronger and more durable. So just like pretending like you're a teacher, just teach the topic. That could make yourself much more confident and influence your rate of learning in a positive way. So revisit ideas after you learn them. Many people assume that repetition is, this boring process, flashcards, Quizlets, I just have to keep doing this. But in reality, spacing information across multiple sessions significantly improves long-term retention. A concept reviewed several times over a month often becomes far more memorable than a concept studied intensely for a single day. So although it can feel like Quizlets, flashcards, or something, those things help, but it doesn't have to be so intensive. In fact, if you spread it across more consistently instead of just feeling like you have to do it intense and then burning out, that's actually much better. So ultimately, academic resonance is not just remembering everything, so that would be impossible. It's about identifying ideas worth carrying forward. As I said, as you can grasp the topic and see what things that you can utilize out of it, that will automatically make you much better. The ideas that continue influencing decisions, shaping perspectives, and generating curiosity years after they were first encountered. So the most valuable knowledge is not the knowledge you remember for exam it's a knowledge that continues teaching you long after the lesson's over. That's academic resonance. And there are so many strategies out there that can help you with this, and these are just the few I listed. So I hope you guys continue learning and continue passing this information, and it will be useful. Thank you.